everyone. I'm Nina Lopatina, a staff developer relations engineer at Unstructured. And right now we're going to grab our unstructured data from an S3 bucket and then save it locally, including the embeddings. So in our documentation for the API, we have our source connectors, and we're going to go to S3. And so I'm just going to start with this pip install here in this notebook I've set up that has the secrets that we're going to need. So I'll just get those running while we talk about what we're going to need for S3. So as you can see in our documentation, you're going to need to create an S3 account, and then you'll either need to create the access key and secret access key, or you're going to just copy those from the CSV file you would have downloaded when you first set these up. And then you're going to want to either create an S3 bucket or note the one that you want to pull the data from, and you can have as much data in there as you want and subdirectories. And so here we're starting with the pip install, and we're also doing the pip install for the embeddings that we're using. And then we're just scrolling down to the ingest code, and we're just copying all of this since that's what we're going to run in our notebook. So we have, in the meantime, installed some of our dependencies. So I'll talk about what we have here. We're pulling some of the data from the secrets I've set up in my Colab notebook. So there I have my unstructured API key, URL, and then for S3, I have the bucket that I'm going to pull data from and the access credentials that I'll need. And below here, I have some code just to take a look at what we have processed once we process it. So here I have copied just the code from the documentation that I just pulled. So we have all of our imports. And then here we are setting up our indexer and the downloading to a download directory. And then we're going to set up our secret access. And then we're going to set up our partitioner with our API key and URL, and we have added additional arguments like wanting to split the PDF and the concurrency level for splitting it. Now we're going to give access to those secrets that I mentioned earlier, variables that I have stored discretely so that they're not shared when I share the notebook or my screen. And now we are all set to run all of this. And after this partitioning that I mentioned, we're also going to chunk the data by title, and then we're going to embed it with Hugging Face, and then save it to a local output directory. And so here we have set up the index, started the download, created the partition configuration. This is little pop-up was to give access to my Hugging Face token, which allows for the embedding of the data that we're going to do. And here I've got a document that's just the US Constitution in a PDF. It's 19 pages, and it has been split into 9 files with 2 pages each. So those are currently partitioning. And then once they're partitioned, they are going to be embedded after we have chunked by title, as I indicated earlier. And the partitioning is complete, and the embedding is happening now. And we have saved our data locally. So here I'm just running just to look at that first bit of the JSON. And so here I see all of the various metadata, like the type of content, the text, which is text of the Constitution, a lot of other information, and of course the embedding, which we can then add wherever we want to process.